Have you ever wanted to listen to two random dudes on the internet talk about their views?
Well, I'm Matt,
And I'm Bill.
and this is the Two Dudes with a View podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 15 and a half. Wow, that means, not quite 30 episodes. We're pushing that 30 episode mark there, Bill. It's getting old.
We're moving right along.
As always, my name is Matt. I am joined by the grumpy old man, Bill. I figured. You got beer in you yet?
Not yet, actually. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome. Well, let's get that going there.
Damn, it's what is this? Wednesday night at 10:30 at night, and I'm opening my first beer.
Yeah, that's kind of sad, actually.
It's a crisis.
Considering you've been home for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Anywho, hope everyone's having a great week so far. You'll hear this on Thursday when this comes out. We're recording it Wednesday night, so we're halfway through the week, and we got to talk about it always, but the weather. And I'm gonna start because you started on Monday, and I just want to say it is fucking hot out. We recorded 104 degrees today here in central New York. 104. I'm good. I gotta move somewhere. Between the politics and the heat, and then the insane snow, I gotta find somewhere else. I can't handle 104 degree temperatures. No way. Anyways, how was it for you?
That's a bit hot. Well, yeah, it's not 104 hot, but it was. I guess all this week they're saying it's supposed to be in the 90s, but it's humid 90s, right? It's not like just sunny 90s. It's going to be humid bullshit because there's going to be rainstorms and thunder showers. It's going to make it worse. But today was miserable. Like, well, I work in a restaurant, right? So when it's 90 degrees outside, then you put the fryers and the flat tops and the stoves and the steam tables, and it gets pretty damn hot.
And then all the people running around you, and yeah.
Yep, all the body heat. We have air conditioners, but that's basically like, in that heat, it's essentially a fan because it doesn't. It can't keep up to cool it down. Yeah.
Well, I just looked on my my weather app right now. Again, it's 10:30 at night, Wednesday, and it is the actual temperature is 80 degrees. The real feel right now is 87. So even for this late, it's toasty, and it's supposed to do that all week. Like I said earlier, we registered 104 around noon, 1 o'clock, somewhere in that range. The real feel, or the real temperature, was like 95. So there's been consistently like a 7-8 degree humidity heat index. So yeah, it's been blistering. It's gonna be like that all week. So good thing I got a pool.
It currently says it's 80 degrees for me. So that at least kind of leveled itself out, right? But
yeah.
You guys were in the hundreds. I don't know what our real feel was. I didn't bother looking, but I mean, it was like 94 or 95. So real feel had to have been over 100.
Probably. I mean, it certainly was probably well over 100 where you were, like inside the work. So inside your diner, especially out back. But anywho, we got a great show for you today. It's my turn to bring the topic to the table for this bonus Thursday episode, and that's what these Thursday episodes are for. I didn't talk about it last week, but these Thursday episodes they're a bonus, right? They're not your normal news. They're not, dare I say, scripted. They're not scripted. I mean, unlike Mondays, we ping back and forth. Last week, Bill talked about ice cream flavors. The week before, I talked about conspiracy theories. So it's just a different kind of fun, lighthearted episode compared to what we normally do. For instance, this past Monday was a little bit of a rough episode, so these episodes are just lighthearted. But before we get into it, I do want to mention and take a moment to recognize the sponsor for today's episode. Thank you to Anchor for sponsoring today's episode. It's very much appreciated. We do we love to have them on board, and it's great to see them helping small podcasts out like ourselves.
Absolutely.
But anywho, I'm gonna stick with your theme, Bill, that you did last week. So you talked about your well, I guess favorite ice cream flavors. Was that I can't remember. Was that U.S. based or was that just globally?
So they pulled. It was a U.S. poll, but it was globally, like, so they physically pulled people in the United States, but the voting was open to globally on the website or something. But,
okay. So I'm going to stick with what you were doing. So last week you did, I believe it ended up being the top, 32 or 35 ice cream flavors?
Yeah, it was only going to be the top 20, but we
went over a little.
Went over, yeah.
So I'm going to stick with what you're doing and for this week because, quite frankly, I have a hard time figuring out what my favorite is of these sometimes, and that's cereal flavors. And
oh boy.
Exactly. That's my initial thought because you can. I'm just gonna take, for instance, Cheerios. Right? There's 17 different flavors of Cheerios. You got regular Cheerios. You got Honey Nut Cheerios. You got this Honey Nut, like the medley types. There's all kinds of. So each brand, like name brand itself, has 17 different flavors, and then there's hundreds of offshoots of each one that all taste a little bit different. But I'm gonna stick with the top 20. And now this is an American poll only, so they did not, poll globally. So this is American based only. It was a 2019 poll that this is. So it's a little outdated. I'm sure some of these have changed, especially with the pandemic and people eating probably a lot more cereal, I'm guessing, just because they couldn't go out. So
Before we get into that, we did make ourselves like a little bit of an agreement last week, and I know for a fact I didn't do my end of it. I was supposed to go try a garlic pizza, but did you try pepperoni and onion pizza?
I did not know. Mainly because I forgot.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was for me too.
I'll have to set a reminder.
We were gonna have pizza at one day, but I called an audible and ended up getting a cheesesteak. So,
well, cheesesteaks are kind of better than pizza some days. So. Yeah, write it down. I'll write it down on my end, and then I completely forgot. So next week, I might have to find some. I might have to hunt down. We'll see. I'll definitely by next week. I promise. And if not, you can cut me out of the show. Good luck, but you could do that.
It can't be two dudes with a view if there's only one of us.
Well, you can find someone else.
Yeah,
they gotta be editing too. So
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. So anywho, cereal. So this poll, and I don't know why, it's the top 19. It's not the top 20. It's the top 19 cereal brands. I don't know.
That's a weird number to end on.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna start right off. Number 19. One that I haven't had a whole lot that I think is kind of a offshoot of another one that we'll get to later. Corn Flakes by Kellogg. Again, haven't really had it, and I think it's an offshoot of another one we'll get to later. But came out. You want to take a guess on when that came out?
Well, I know it's been out for a long ass time because my dad, when he was still alive, said that he used to eat that when he was a kid. So I'm guessing it probably came out, if I could come up with a just off the wall number, probably in like the 40s or 50s.
1894.
Okay, so I was close.
You were close. I mean, it's an old cereal brand. It's one of the first ones Kellogg came out with. And again, I haven't had a whole lot of it, and I think it is a little bit of offshoot, but I think it does tend to go towards the older generation.
Now, is that like you're saying Kellogg's Corn Flakes? Like that's not the frosted corn flakes or any
No,
of them,
that
right?
it's
Like,
just regular cornflakes. Just neutral. I don't know what the taste would be, but I'm looking at
board with milk.
yeah, I'm looking at the picture of the box that's got strawberries in it. I know people put blueberries in it, so it's kind of like a base, and then you add some other stuff to it. But yeah, cornflakes, just normal cornflakes, not frosted, and no sugar on it, nothing like that.
Yep, I'm putting that. I would have to say that fits the 19 spot.
Yeah, I think it's pretty bland for it. I think it deserves. Supposedly in 2019 they sold 31.7 million boxes of it. So
now here's something though, like
still respectable numbers. I will say that.
The beginning of this year, or was it the beginning of this year or the end of last year? Kellogg's employees went on strike.
Yes, I don't remember which year, but yeah, it was recently. Okay, moving on to 18, one that I think should be a lot higher, and I haven't had it in a while, but is one that I like, and that is also by Kellogg, Apple Jacks. Came out in 1965.
Apple Jacks, they're the ones that look like Cheerios with bumps on them, right?
Correct, and they're cinnamon flavored usually. That's the most popular version. They got some cinnamon on it, but they're I guess orange, technically orange and green, so they resemble the two types of apples, the green apples, red apples type of deal. But yeah, again, I like them. I really do. Probably not my top 5, but pretty close. I mean, they're a decent cereal. Sold 40.8 million boxes in 2019.
This is going to be a hard list for me because I don't eat cereal that often. But when I do, there's only one cereal that I'll eat. Now, growing up, I've eaten. Yeah, I've had probably the majority of the ones you're going to put on this list. So I mean, my top 5 is really a top 2 because there's only 2 types of cereal that I really like. But I do remember eating Apple Jacks. I remember putting them in sandwich bags and taking them out playing because they were a good snack just without milk.
Yep. And I will say, based on this website, they obviously they have the company on here, how many boxes were sold that year, what the sales were, so on and so forth. The claim to fame here for Apple Jacks is that it's the lowest unit price, so lowest price per box on this list at $2.71. So shout out to Kellogg and Apple Jacks for that.
Yeah.
Number 17, one that I haven't had, that I've seen, I just haven't had, and that is Captain Crunch's Crunch Berries by Quaker Foods, which is owned by Pepsi. Haven't had it at all, so I really don't know anything about it.
They should just call that razor blades in a box.
Yeah, literally. It's essentially like a flavored thing. I don't know, but sold 38.3 million. It was this is the only one that is been voted that I have no clue and never had. So maybe I'll have to try those 2 for next episode and probably forget it, so and push it back to the episode after. But yeah. Probably for me would take over the number 18 spot. Maybe even number 19, just because I've never had them. Number 16, one that I think is underrated at times and overrated at times, and that is another Kellogg cereal, Raisin Bran.
Ugh.
And I'm with you there. So when I was younger, I really, really loved Raisin Bran. It was good. I probably couldn't even smell it right now. I don't even like raisins anymore. It's one of those things like, I used to not like onions. Now I like onions. I used to love raisins. Now I don't like them. It's just...
Yeah, Raisin Bran, that's not even in my top 100.
Yeah. Came out in 1906. So it's been around quite some time.
Well, it just lets you know people like it if it's still going and it's been around that long.
Yeah, and again, I think this is one that appeals just like... the first one we talked about there with cornflakes. I think this is one that appeals to the older generations compared to the newer, more not salty, but sugary types of cereal like Apple Jacks, for instance. Number 15, one that I've had and was disappointed in. It's a General Mills cereal, and that is Reese's Puffs. I thought it was going to be more like the actual Reese's peanut butter cups, and it just really wasn't at the time. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't. It wasn't good. I don't know. That seems, again, that's one of the more sugary type ones that.
What was it again? What did you say it was?
Reese's Puffs. So it's essentially it's supposed to taste like Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, they look like the what are they? They're like a round. It's like a round ball, right? Like the old Twix.
Yeah,
Twix
exactly. Yeah, it's the same exact shape as Twix. But yeah,
I remember them. Yeah, like those. So that cereal's good only in one way. Like you put it in milk, and trust me, I hate soggy cereal. That's why I don't eat cereal that often, because once it gets soggy, I don't like it.
agreed.
But that stuff, that's okay being soggy, because then it makes it more like a peanut butter milk.
Yeah, I mean, the description on here is Hershey's Cocoa and Reese's Peanut Butter Sweet and Crunchy Corn Puffs. So again, it's to the sweet tooth that's really they're targeting here, but a 3/4 cup. Just looking at the box here, and this might have changed, but a serving size is 3/4 of a cup, 9 grams of sugar, and 120 calories. That's a lot for a cereal. Gonna give you the punch when you wake up though in the morning and have it. Number 14, one that I expected to be lower, if not completely off the list. Another Kellogg one, and it kind of goes. I mean, it's got this is where Corn Flakes kind of gets different a little, and that is Special K Red Berry, excuse me, which is essentially just the normal Corn Flakes with red berries in it. That's pretty much it. It appeals to the healthy people. That's all. But again, I would probably put that lower, maybe 18, 19, somewhere in that range. Goes right with the Corn Flakes.
Yeah, not a big fan of that. To me, flake cereal, not my thing.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you there. The next one is about the only one that I'll accept soggy. That's number 13, and that's Rice Krispies. Now, the only reason I'll accept these soggy is because I feel like they're made to be eaten soggy. Not like beyond the point of no return soggy, but like just they're meant to soak up the milk. Is the goal of them. That's at least what I think of them.
Yeah, I can eat them, trust me, but I can't eat them without eating them fast, just because of the whole snap, crackle, pop thing.
Yep.
Right? Like, I want to eat it because they remind me of Pop Rocks as a cereal.
I haven't had Pop Rocks in forever, but yeah, I think that's what made these so popular was the fact that they have not only the line snap, crackle, pop, but they literally snap, crackle, and pop while they're sitting in the bowl and while you're eating them.
Yeah, it's a brilliant concept. All it really is they're little rice balls or little rice puffs that have holes in them that when the milk gets inside of it, it starts breaking them down, and that's what causes the snap, crackle, and pop sound. But it's just weird that. So when I can only see this in my head, right? Like, here we go. Matt, we've got this weird looking cereal. I don't know how we did it, but it seems to be an accident. But the damnedest thing happens whenever we put milk on it, it starts making noise. Oh, really, Bill? Well, let's put some milk on this. Well, shit, it sounds like it's going snap, crackle, pop. That's a great marketing campaign. Let's make that our marketing campaign.
Yeah, and that's so the according to this, the Rice Krispies debuted in 1928, and the Snap Crackle Pop slogan, I guess if you want to call it that, debuted a year later. So yeah, someone was like, "Wow, this really snaps, crackles, and pops. Hey, there we go, snap, crackle, pop."
And honestly, that's where, like, if you sit down and think about marketing too long, the idea is gonna suck.
Yeah.
If you come up with something right off the top of your head, and apply it to whatever it is you're doing, odds are it's going to be a unique. Well, it might not be unique because there's probably something that drew that inspiration to you, but you can refine it and make it unique. But if you have to sit for like a day trying to think of, well, how can we advertise this? Then it's pretty shitty. But if you have somebody go, wow, this thing goes snap, crackle, and pop. Well, shit, let's use that.
Yeah. And this for Kellogg was a really, game changer because it led to Rice Krispie treats as well, which now have their own line. They got the standard Rice Krispie ones. They got chocolate. They got all kinds of Rice Krispie treats, which are very popular, might I say, at Halloween. I haven't had one of those in forever too. I might have to get one of those too. Those are good. Not healthy for you whatsoever, but really good. So yeah, I wonder if Rice Krispie would do the same, like the treats would do the same if you put them in milk, because it's the same. It's the rice puffs, whatever, but they're connected with like some sort of cream or whatever. I don't even know what connects it, to be honest with you. It's just so good. Wonder if we might have to do an experiment time later. Just next episode, we might do an experiment time. See if Rice Krispie treats, when dunked in a bowl of milk, snap, crackle, and pop.
Well, I know that like using Rice Krispie treats when making homemade Rice Krispies is amazing.
I've never made homemade Rice Krispies.
Do you know how easy it is? Here how easy it is. Go to the store, get a container of marshmallow fluff, bring it home, put it in a pot, like not in a pot, but like put a pot of water, and then put that stuff in another pot, and then like a double boiler, put that pot inside the boiling water so that the marshmallow starts melting. Once it melts and gets like runny, dump it in a bowl, dump Rice Krispies in it, and fucking mix it together and let it cool down, and then ta-da, Rice Krispie treats.
Huh. I'm gonna have to do that. I never thought it was that easy, but
it's literally marshmallow and Rice Krispie treats.
Listen,
Rice Krispie cereal.
I love Rice Krispie treats, so that might have been a bad thing to tell me. Just throwing that out there.
So when you dump the Rice Krispies in the don't melt it so it's like water, right? Like melt it to where it's still thick and sticky but like gooey. Dump it into a bowl, mix the shit into it, and then put it into like a cake pan and flatten it out so it it's flat and square, and then stick it in the refrigerator overnight and let it cool down, and then fucking cut that shit and you're good to go. Huh. Rice Krispie treats.
Probably a really bad idea to tell me that, but thank you anyways. My fatness is gonna love you here shortly.
I don't think, but
well, it'll be all right. Yeah. Moving on, number 12, another Kellogg cereal. I think Kellogg. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think Kellogg ran out of ideas when making cereal, because this is essentially the exact same thing we've seen twice. They only added, supposedly, again, who really knows, but supposedly they added 7 vitamins and iron to it to make it good, and that is Kellogg Special K. It's essentially cornflakes. You can get them in with like strawberries and all that added in, like the fake strawberries obviously added in. But supposedly there's just 7 vitamins and minerals added to make it good. So I think Kellogg just ran out of ideas and said, well, we need to make more money. What do we got? Then we can just rebrand this 17 times and make it good.
Well, that's what Captain Crunch did, didn't they?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
They took Captain Crunch, then they made Captain Crunch peanut butter, Captain Crunch peanut butter with crunch berries, Captain Crunch crunch berries, just Captain Crunch just berries.
That is true. I guess that's what most cereal brands did. Like, look at Cheerios, and we'll get to them later, I'm sure. But Honey Nut Cheerios, you got regular Cheerios. Again, you got the medley that I mentioned earlier. There's all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I think Kellogg though literally just ran out of ideas.
You know what? Like, I think would be it might not be good, but I think it would be interesting to run. Like, say you own Kellogg's, right? And all of the Kellogg cereals that are popular, why not just make like a Kellogg's Jumbo or, like Kellogg's Jambalaya, and it just be like a mix of all of your popular cereals mixed together and put in a bag, and then you just dump it out of the box into a bowl, put milk on it, and you have everything all at once.
Yeah.
There's $1 million idea or $1 billion idea just there. So if you work for Kellogg's and you do that, remember, we have this on recording. It's going to be out there for the world to hear. I'm going to come after you for some monies.
Yeah. We expect all the money in the world because of it. Just an FYI.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there. So, I do want to say though, once we're through, I mean, that was number 12. Once we're through the next 11 and we give our top 3s or 5s, whatever we decide, we're gonna have to figure a way to, or think of the best cereal we can think of and just make one that's our own, whether it be mixing. We'll get to there though. We got time.
We're going to cover this at the end, but I want to just throw this in there now. Join our Discord. I'll give you more information at the end because that's my favorite part. But when we do stuff like this where we run down our favorite things or whatever's popular and we give our opinions, join our Discord and tell us how stupid we are, how wrong we are, or how right we are. This is going to be great.
Yeah. Number 11. We already kind of covered it in a way. And again, this is where I think Kellogg just ran out of ideas. Because this is Raisin Bran, but the jumbo version. I didn't know this even
existed. But the jumbo version.
Yeah, so essentially what it is it's Raisin Bran, but they added they call them the deluxe pellet, so it's just bigger cornflakes in it. And then they also took out all the artificial flavors and preservatives, so essentially they did what they did with Special K, essentially. Made it healthier, that's all. Again, didn't even know this existed. Quite frankly, Raisin Bran's a hit or miss thing, like I said earlier. Kellogg just ran it. I'm going to say it again. Kellogg ran out of ideas, and that's it. That's all I can say.
Well, that's like we've said it already, though, but that's what happens. Cereal they find out what's popular, and then they try to make it a little bit better or different, but it's still the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Like, same with Captain Crunch. They took Captain Crunch, oh, that's popular, let's make it now peanut butter flavored.
That's true, yeah.
Then they said, oh, well, peanut butter's working, now let's throw berries in it. So a lot of these cereals are probably going to be duplicates of another cereal, or like a hybrid of another cereal.
Yeah, most of them are. And if they aren't, they've had hybrids or duplicates of them made by other companies or generic brands like Walmart or Tops or whatever. But yeah,
some of those generic brands are better than the real stuff, though.
Listen, you're not wrong. And that doesn't go just for cereal. That goes for a lot of stuff. I will say that.
Yeah.
Number 10, one that I've had, but again, not my favorite. Wasn't super impressed with Fruity Pebbles. This is by a company called Post, which I think now Kellogg owns, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the major companies owns. It was a Flintstones based cereal that came out, so obviously that made it very popular, and people still love it. Very colorful cereal. I'm not a fan of it. That's all.
I'm with you. I like the Cocoa Pebbles. That should be on this list. If it's not, then this is a very broken list. But so this is probably a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I work in a diner. We have an ice cream room where we soft serve ice cream to people. They can order flurries and shit like that, where we mix stuff with it. We have Fruity Pebbles as an option to get mixed with your ice cream. And I always thought, that's crazy. That just seems like you're taking a sugary thing and adding way more sugar to it and just having this. And I don't like vanilla ice cream to start off with. That is just, to me, too stupid of an idea.
It's too bland.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, if just you got to trust me on this because it works. I don't know why, but take vanilla ice cream and take Fruity Pebbles and mix it in. Just take like, a handful of Fruity Pebbles and mix it in with a bowl of ice cream, vanilla ice cream. It's for some reason stupid, and it tastes so good because like it gives flavor and texture to the vanilla, but it doesn't taste too much like you're eating cereal either, right? Like
Yeah.
there's that weird balance, and it's good.
Well,
But
now
I
that,
don't like. I'm not going to go to the store and buy a box of Fruity Pebbles and a gallon of milk and say that's breakfast. That's not probably ever going to happen unless Fruity
No.
Pebbles are 50 cents a box.
yeah. And now that you mentioned the whole ice cream thing, I will say that not like, I guess with like flurries and stuff like that, I've seen them mix it in, but I've seen them use it as like not the normal size, like they crunch it up and whatnot, but as sprinkles. I've seen them like essentially use them as sprinkles before, which again, now that you brought it up, that remind me of that. But yeah, I mean, I've never tried it, but it just seems too much going on.
Yeah, you have to watch how much you put in it. Like if you're gonna get the Fruity Pebbles, and say like you get a bowl, and it's hard to say because if you're gonna get a bowl of ice cream at home, it's gonna be like hard ice cream,
Yeah.
right? Because you're gonna stick it in your freezer. But
Well,
if you go to an ice cream place, just go to if there's a place where nearby you that you can get soft serve ice cream, get like a quart of soft serve ice cream, and then get a box of Fruity Pebbles just for this one reason. Put a handful of Fruity Pebbles in 1 quart of that ice cream and mix it up. So it's not like every bite you're just eating a shit ton of Fruity Pebbles, but you'll have like as the ice cream melts and it absorbs into the fruity, it also starts giving the vanilla that array of flavor. It's weird. I'll never. It's not. I'll never put that on my top 10 ice creams or cereals, but mixed with ice cream, it's definitely up there.
I think. Well, first, let me just say, I think my next major purchase in life is going to be a soft serve ice cream machine.
I can tell you right now, if you want one that has 3 nozzles, like like a chocolate, vanilla,
Yeah.
and like a mix, it's $30,000.
No,
Yes.
hold on. I gotta quick Google this. Sidetrack here. I'm sorry. What? $30,000.
Yes. It's the machine is a $30,000 machine. It stands about as tall as me, so it's about 6'4", 6'5". It's wide. It has a door on it. You open the door. It has 2 bins underneath. One for chocolate milk mix, one for vanilla mix.
Jesus.
And yep, all the components. And then you have to get it maintenance like once a month.
I was just saying.
unless you're-
I am seeing one on here, $18,000, and this is the refurbished one. So, although Amazon, and again, I mean it's Amazon, but Amazon has a commercial ice cream maker machine for home, soft serve. It's $1,200. I mean that's a little bit better, but probably doesn't do nearly as good. Holy, $30,000. Yeah, okay. Once I'm a millionaire, Bill. Once
Yep,
once this podcast takes off and I'm a millionaire, that'll be the first thing I buy. Screw a mansion, screw cars, ice cream machine.
I had this discussion with the owner of the company or the owner of the business I work for, and he told me, he's like, yeah, I spent $30,000 on it, and he had to buy new blades, and these blades, there's 4 of them. And all these blades do is they
turn
mix
the ice cream, yeah, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, but each mix takes 2 of them. You don't just put 1 blade in, you got to put 2 to form a T, right? So it's a constant mix. Each one of them is $100. So he spent $400, and you have to buy these every so often because they go bad.
Can I
right?
just
They get caked with shit.
Can I just say, at least in New York here, the soft serve ice cream season is from like 4th of July, well, not Memorial Day. Call it Memorial Day to Labor Day. What is that? 4 months? Maybe somewhere in that range.
It's outside ice cream is what soft serve is.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's worth $30,000.
That's kind of how I thought too. When he said it was $30,000, plus he pays a company to come in and like maintenance it every once a month or once every 2 months or whatever it is. Plus, you have to buy these blades every couple months. But if you think of it in today's economy, just to give you an idea, we sell a baby ice cream at our restaurant for $1.42 plus tax, which is $1.50. We sell a small cone for $2.36 plus tax, which is $2.50. And we sell a large at $3.30 plus tax, which is $3.50. So if you make in a month's time, if you sell a bunch of, and that's not counting milkshakes, which are 401 or like 425 after tax, and banana splits, which are $8 after tax.
Oh
Like
man.
you're making your money back, but you're also spending a lot of money to maintenance it to keep it going. So if you want to just start an ice cream shop, you're going to make money. But if you want to have that part of a business that it's not its main focus, then you're going to be breaking even with it.
Well, what if I want one in my house? Is it just worth the $30,000 and then the maintenance, or?
You're better off getting one of those hand crank things where you dump the ice in.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
at that point.
Well, little sidetrack there, but hey, Fruity Pebbles, number 10.
Yeah, we just completely went back to ice cream, didn't we?
Yeah, you like your ice cream, you know. You don't get enough of it at work, so you just bring it here.
Yeah, bring it here.
Number 9, very overrated for number 9, Life cereal by Quaker, which is again Pepsi. 58.1 million boxes sold in 2019. Kind of impressive for how bland this cereal. This is a literal cardboard cereal for me. Like it's just it tastes like cardboard packing peanuts for me. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. That is definitely in my top 5.
No. Sucks to suck, Bill. It's okay. I don't.
Yeah.
What is it about it that it's just bland? I don't understand.
I think it's the shape. Honestly, it's like a
But
puffed up square with ridges on it.
have you
I don't know.
have you ever had Chex Mix though?
Yeah,
It's-
it's basically the same thing.
I love the Chex Mix. I hate this. I mean, granted, there's some spices and whatever you want to call them on the Chex Mix, but still, it just it's bland. It's cardboard for me. Number 8, one that is by far my top 5, and we'll get to those rankings here shortly. Frosted Mini Wheats. I mean, come on, man. It's a Kellogg cereal. This one, I fully support Kellogg doing whatever they want to do and making however many offshoots of this as they want. It's one of the best cereals out there. 71.3 million boxes sold in 2019. It's so good. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if it's the frosting on the top, if it's the wheat, the mini wheats themselves. It's just, I love them. I can't get enough of them.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Number 7, one that is I used to mix with Apple Jacks a lot because they're essentially the same thing, just a little bit different flavors, obviously. Fruit Loops, another Kellogg brand. Kellogg's really dominating this. I figured General Mills was, but Kellogg really dominated this. 91.7 million boxes sold in 2019, and it's got that. What is that? It's that toucan bird on the front. It's a nice little Toucan Sam.
Yeah, Toucan Sam.
It's got a nice box, and if you mix them with Apple Jacks, they're great. It's an unstoppable cereal right there. Unstoppable. Again, kind of though, like Apple Jacks and others, it goes towards the sweet side of things for the younger generation. Number 6, a General Mills, probably one of General Mills' most popular brands out there. Sold 86.4 million boxes in 2019, and that is
Gotta be Kix. It's gotta be Kix.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms. Hey. All right.
Listen, they're magically delicious. Let's just say that to get that out of the way.
Shitting.
The marshmallows alone make that cereal what it is. Now, I'm not.
That's all I. That's what I like it for.
Listen,
the marshmallows.
I'm not dissing the actual cereal because the actual cereal, if you have that without the marshmallows, is actually still pretty good. But the marshmallows, oh my god! I mean, you can buy bags of them now, just straight bags of them, and they're amazing. It's great. I love it. Yeah. I mean, Lucky Charms, definitely in my top 5. Don't know why it's number 6 here. Probably even in my top 3.
I just wrote my top 5 on a piece of paper, so that way, when we get to it, there's going to be no
discrepancies here.
Yep, I won't. I'll just read 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But let's get through their top 5 first, and then we'll get to our top 5. Okay.
All right.
Number 5 for them, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. General Mills cereal sold 105.2 million boxes in 2019. Quite impressive, if I do say so myself. Just an all-around good cereal. I don't think. And then this is one. Now, I'm one that if I'm going to have cereal, the milk better be proportional for the most part in conjunction with the cereal, meaning I can't either have a swamp of milk in the bottom or I can't have not enough milk and have extra cereal. This is the only one that I will have extra milk in the bottom and drink it.
This is what I wanted to ask you. Are you a one bowl, drink the milk, or are you a one bowl, here's still some milk, dump more cereal in it, and keep going kind of person?
Overall, I would say 9.9 out of 10 times I'm just going to drink the milk.
See, I'm a as soon as I get done, because I don't put just enough milk to get the cereal wet. I put enough milk to drown the cereal. So by the time I'm done, I still have a bunch of milk. So I just throw more cereal in and keep going till, I get down to where it's like, okay, now it's time to drink it.
Well, see, there's a fine line for me, okay? And that's if I look down in the bowl and there is a ridiculous amount of milk left, I'm going to go get more cereal. But if there's enough where I can't justify, now mind you, where I am, I would have to walk downstairs, halfway across the house, well, actually to the other side of the house, and then all the way back to eat my cereal, to get more and eat it. So if I can't justify that much energy to go down, get it, and come back, I'm just not going to do it. It's just not worth my time, and I'm just going to drink the milk. Again, if I'm having Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I don't care if half the bowl cereal or half the bowl is milk. I'm going to just drink it because that cinnamon in there is so good. It's too good.
Here's a pro-life tip for you. As a drinker, this is a very big benefit to me. But for you, this would be a benefit. Get a mini fridge, put it in your room, get milk, put it in there, get a bowl, get some cereal, put it on your shelf, and you don't have to leave when you want a snack.
Yes, I need a mini fridge, 100%. And if my birthday's coming up, if anyone wants to buy me that next month, just saying. Anywho, totally didn't just do that. But I do that with, because a lot of times I'm on the go and I need something quick, or it's midnight and again, I don't feel like walking halfway across the house. I'll get a thing of Pop-Tarts. And they're not the healthiest thing in the world. They're good. And you have one package versus 2 Pop-Tarts. You either have one tart or 2. Gets you through. It's quick, on the go, easy, and I don't have to walk anywhere for it. Matter of fact, I got some sitting right here.
Pop-Tarts, hot or cold?
Cold. Well, not cold, right, but room temperature.
Like right out of the package.
Yeah, like I'm not.
I'm with you.
There are a couple, but they're the special ones, not the normal ones that I will heat up. But no, right out of the package, I'm not doing anything to them besides shoving them in my mouth and eating them. Just there's no added benefit for it at all. Maybe that'll be a future episode too. Talk about Pop-Tart rankings because there are hundreds of flavors.
Or we just do a favorite. Maybe next week I'll bring up favorite junk foods.
There you go.
You don't know. Like Matt said at the beginning, it's not this shit's unscripted. The only person that knows what's going to be the topic is whoever's turn it is to bring up the topic.
And I'm always scared coming in to see what Bill's topic is. Always. Last week, I was sitting on the edge of my seat when he said ice cream, and then I finally sat back a little.
Yeah, because I can't say alcohol because Matt is he's too good to drink beer with me.
Yeah, I am. I will say though, quick sidetrack on ice cream again because we're somehow back at that topic. You didn't that episode didn't inspire me to go get ice cream the next day. So.
Oh, it did? Good.
Yeah.
I hope it inspired everybody else that listened.
Yeah, that would be nice. I single-handedly went and bought 2 half-gallons, so they didn't last long either. Anyway, number 4, one that I think a lot of people like. I'm not a fan of. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan. It's okay. Another one by Post, Honey Bunches of Oats. Sold 111.3 million boxes in 2019. Again, I think it's overrated for what it is, but I do know a lot of people that love it. I do think this is the most popular of what I call the older generation cereals, which is the people in their 40s, 50s, 60s era. You know, that,
but it's
that
also,
age range.
You got to look at budget, right? Like a lot of cereals that don't sell good or that aren't really popular are lower budget.
Agreed.
So if this cereal is, on the list, it could be on the list because it's cheaper and people just, got it themselves acquired to liking it.
What do you think the average price per box is of this?
2019 price, before all the hell broke loose and now we're paying too much money for anything. I would say like $2.99 a box, $3 a box.
So for comparison, the least expensive one, and we talked about this earlier, the least expensive one on this list of 19 is Apple Jacks, and that's at $2.71 a box. That was the average price per box in 2019. Honey Bunches of Oats at the time of this poll was going for $3.37 a box, which is arguably one of the most expensive ones I've seen. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, a little bit less popular by a more known brand, $3.27 a box.
I'm in the ballpark here anyway.
Yeah, and then again, Lucky Charms, $3.28 a box. So I mean, it's average, but it is a little bit. It is one of the most expensive ones I've seen on this list so far. Again, I'm not a fan of it. It is what it is. Number 3, top 3. Here we go. Another Kellogg one. This is a great one that I like, and that is Frosted Flakes. Sold 132.3 million boxes in 2019. They're great. Pun intended. Number 3.
Number 3. What was number 19?
Cornflakes.
So it's the same thing, just with frosting on it.
Frosting and sugar. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and on top of that, it beat out like Special K and all those other ones that are essentially just cornflakes that are healthy for you, I guess, if you want to call them that. Tony the Tiger, just great marketing again by Kellogg here.
Great.
Yeah, it's just Kellogg's got the marketing down for cereal. And yeah, that's about all I can say there. Number 2. Actually, number 1 and number 2 are pretty much the exact same thing. Both General Mills cereals.
It's gotta be. They have to have Captain Crunch has to be in here like this.
So number 2, Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's the Bumblebee.
Yes. 129.3 million boxes in 2019. Not as many as Frosted Flakes. But it was, Frosted Flakes went for $3.12 a box. These were going for $3.26, so that might have had something to do with it. However, again, just a great overall cereal. I mean, if I'm picking a cereal out of the cabinet, I'm probably going to go for Honey Nut Cheerios 9 out of 10 times. Unless I'm in the mood for something else. It's just, you can't complain of it. It's good, and that's all it is. That's all I can say. But yeah, Honey Nut Cheerios, it's got, again, the honeybee on it. Probably General Mills' best-selling cereal out there. With the exception of number 1. Again, another General Mills cereal. You want to take a guess of what it is?
Well, if it was Honey Nut Cheerios there, it's probably just plain Cheerios.
Correct. Yeah. Plain Cheerios, 139.1 million boxes sold. So about 3 more million boxes sold over the Honey Nut Cheerios. Cheaper, $3.13 a box. Came out in 1941. So old.
Cardboard rings.
Again, I'm gonna pick up regular Honey Nut Cheerios over the regular Cheerios. So that's just my preference. But again, like you said, it's kind of just they're bland. They got no taste to them. Regular Cheerios.
Yeah, to me, that's the difference between a hot dog and a hot dog with ketchup and mustard on it.
Pretty much.
That's really what that is.
Pretty much, yeah. Anyways,
before we get into our top 5, this whole thing just reminded me of my childhood so bad because when I was in, I want to say 2nd or 3rd grade, one of our assignments was to go, and our poor parents had to pay for this, but I didn't know, realize until I got older. Was one of the assignments from our teacher was to bring a box of cereal into school where sugar was not in the top 5 ingredients.
Ooh. That's actually a good assignment.
Yeah.
I mean to be fair, back in the 70s when you were born.
Wait a minute now. Hold on now.
just saying.
Early 80s, but
that was close. Regardless. Back then sugar wasn't like, I mean, if we look at the top 5 in this list, with the exception of regular Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Honey Bunches of Oats, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and even top 6, Lucky Charms, like all of those just are jam-packed with sugar.
Yeah, there was no, you couldn't just, so basically what it was you were bringing, everybody brought the same shit, right? Everybody brought the frosted, or not the corn flakes, or the Cheerios,
the literal
plain nothing, just the cardboard,
the literal cardboard. Yep. I honestly think Cheerios, corn flakes, those are literally the leftovers when they're done making Honey Nut Cheerios or Frosted Flakes or something like that. It's probably just the leftovers. So they're like, we'll deal those.
Let me get my list here in front of me. You're probably gonna be well, I can tell you right now, 3 of my top 5 didn't even make the top 19. So that's pretty shitty, but
I can tell you right now, all 5 of mine made the top 19.
That's pretty bad. Only 2 of my 5 made the 19.
Some of them were actually pretty close in their assessments too. So, okay, our top 5. Bill, I'll let you go. We're just gonna piggyback. You do your top 5, I'll do mine, then you do your number 4, so on and so forth.
Okay, so when I was a kid, the only reason that this was a popular cereal while I was a kid is because it was part of holiday commercials and all kinds of stuff. But that was Kix. Kids tested, mother approved. Like, it's such a good cereal. It's like just a good cereal.
I can't say I've ever heard of it.
Look it up, Kix. Like at Christmas
how do you spell it?
Kix.
Kix cereal.
It's a ball, but during like the holidays, we used to take like a needle and put it on thread and then sew it through the cereal and make like garland for Christmas trees.
Huh.
Right? Like it wasn't just a cereal. It was much more. Like the candy necklaces. That was kind of like what Kix was. It was like a candy necklace. You can make a bracelet of Kix. But Kix was good stuff.
Now, before I get to my number 5, I got to throw an honorable mention out there real quick because it's not in the top 19. I loved it as a child. Haven't had it since probably 2010. And that's just Corn Pops by Kellogg's. It's kind of got the same like crackle pop type thing, hence the name that Rice Krispie does, just not as prominent, but it was good. It's essentially just, it tastes like corn. That's about it. My number 5, which was number 3 on this list, Frosted Flakes. It's a good cereal. I think it can do in quite a lot of scenarios, and it's one that over the years has never really changed much. The quality hasn't changed, and it's just, if I want a nice sugary cereal, I'm going for Frosted Flakes. That's all I can say. It's overall just a good cereal.
Yeah, I gotta stay with you there. That's a good thing. I mean, it was on the list, but it's definitely a good top 5.
Yeah. All right, you're number 4.
A variant of one that was on the list, but Cocoa Pebbles.
It's a good honorable mention for me.
I just love you mix it with milk, and when you're done, you have chocolate milk to drink.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good honorable mention for me, for sure. Probably, I would say probably number 7, maybe number 8 for me. But yeah, I mean, it's up there for sure. Like you said, chocolate milk at the end. You can't complain really there.
Yeah, there's nothing to bitch about there. Cereal, you get something to eat and something to drink, and they both taste good.
Yeah. Number 4 for me was number 5 on the list, actually. That's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Again, with the fact that it's the only cereal that, like, in my mind, I can say if the bowl is literally half full of milk at the end, I will drink the entire thing and enjoy it. Like, that alone is just a miracle for me. And once they get a little, like, once the actual squares soak up a little of that milk, they're to die for. It's great. So yeah, number 4 for me. I mean, if my top 5, if you put them all in front of me, I would have a very hard time choosing which one to have. I really would.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I'm definitely right there.
Number 3, what do you got?
Ooh, you probably never heard of these, but there's 2 of them, but they're tied. So it's got to be number 3 tied. Is Smacks and Honey Smacks.
I have heard of them. Specifically the Honey Smacks version of it. I haven't had the regular Smacks. The Honey Smacks are actually pretty good. I will not lie. They got I don't know, it's like the green frog or dude, whatever. I don't even know what he is on the box there. If I remember
it's
correctly.
Like a frog.
Yeah, I mean, they're not bad. Probably outside the top 10 for me. But again, it's a decent cereal if it's given to me. I'll eat it for sure. Number 3 for me was number 6 on the list. Lucky Charms. They're to die for. Like we talked about earlier, the marshmallows really do it for me. You give me a box of Lucky Charms, expect the entire thing to be gone in one sitting. They're just that good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like them. They're just that good. Number 2. We're getting up there.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to keep going here. Number 2. My number 2 is Lucky Charms.
See, I mean,
they're just magically delicious. There's nothing you can say about it.
Exactly. And again, I'll say it. I mean, it was my number 3. It was a very close number 2 between number 2 and number 3. But I'll get to my number 2 in a minute. But yeah, like you said, magically delicious. The whole box is going to be gone if you give it to me in one sitting.
Yeah, because you don't even need milk. You could just be like, hey, I'm just going to eat this. And
I don't even need a bowl and a spoon. Like, just give me the bag and the box.
Yeah, the bag won't have that traditional rip in it. The whole damn thing will be ripped open, and my hand's going in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that good. And because there's there used to be six different marshmallow colors or something like that.
Yeah, you got the rainbow, the heart, there's like a U shape. Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 shapes and colors.
Yeah, and then you get the oddball pieces of actual cereal.
Yep.
So it was just good.
Yeah. You can't complain. My number 2, again, very close between number 2 and number 3 for me. The only reason I put number 2 above number 3 and my number 2 is Mini Wheats. The only reason I put it up there was for the frosting on top of it. It's just, the frosting kills me. I love it. And I can't complain. That's it. It's just a good one. And that's all I got. That's literally about all I got for it.
Boy, we're one after the other because my number 1 is Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yeah, well, again, that's what I said, Mini Wheats, but yeah, Frosted Mini Wheats, number 2 for me. But yeah, you can't complain with it. That's another one where you give me the box, it'll probably be gone in one sitting.
And they don't get soggy quick either. So
no, they don't. And
they take your time.
And they actually taste better when they get a little bit milk in them. Just so good.
And I like the fact that even when they do get soggy, they break apart.
Yeah.
So you got something extra to pick up.
Yeah, and if you don't like soggy when they're, when they disintegrate in the milk, you can make paper mesh out of it, essentially.
Yeah.
My number one, and the reason it's number one for me is because I want to say that this cereal is one that does in any situation, and I don't think I've ever heard a person complain about it. And again, if I'm not feeling anything to eat, you give me a box of these and I will eat them, and that's Honey Nut Cheerios. I could not be starving. I could not, I could physically look at food and want to throw up, and I would still eat Honey Nut Cheerios. It's just...
Yeah, they weren't in my top 5, but I would definitely take them. If you brought me a box of Honey Nut Cheerios, don't even give me milk, just give me the box.
Yeah.
We'll be good.
Yeah, again, it's one of those all-around good cereals that anything can, at any given time, you could hand them to me right now at 11:30 at night, or you could hand them to me at noon on a 110-degree day, and I will still eat them. They're just that good. Kudos to General Mills for just producing such a great cereal there. That's all I can say. But that wraps up our top 5s. The top 19 for the United States. I think it was a good list overall. I think there was a couple that could have been Special K. Could have just
probably not been on there. But
yeah, and maybe
people look out for their health and good for you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Me, I'm gonna die one day. I'm gonna die hungry. I'm gonna die full, and I'm gonna die happy. So I want the greasy food. I want the stuff I grew up on. I don't want this air fried bullshit. And I'm good.
Oh, Bill, this podcast is only gonna go for another year because of you.
Probably. We're gonna be canceled by cancel culture.
Either that, or it's gonna be canceled because Bill's dead because he ate too many hot wings and drank too much beer.
That could be. There's a possibility.
You'll know soon enough, viewers. You'll know, our listeners. Anywho, it's about that time, Bill. What do you think?
Yeah.
You got any final thoughts?
Ready.
You got any final thoughts, real quick, about cereal before we go on to your favorite part?
Don't eat too much of it, but eat enough to have too much.
I can't even top that. So, Bill, your favorite part of the show?
I love it.
We didn't do this the last 2 episodes, mainly because last Thursday episode I was extremely tired and forgot, and you were as well.
Yeah, it was a very sensitive show too.
Yeah,
so
and then Monday was an extremely sensitive show, so we didn't do it, and we tend not to on those shows because self-promoting after some of those types of shows is just not right. Doesn't sit right with us. So
yeah, so everybody get your goddamn heads together so we don't have to talk about it no more.
Yeah. So anyway, Bill, tell them about the Discord that we got.
Decent. All right, I'm not great with long strings of letters and numbers, so Matt's going to post the link to our Discord in the audio version you're listening to, and if you're listening to it on YouTube, it'll be linked there too. Come in there, tell us how stupid we are, how good our ideas are. If you would do anything, give us ideas for podcasts coming in the future, because we're running out of ideas here for these Thursday episodes. It's also a good spot if you're a small business or a small streamer or even a big streamer and you want to get some kind of publication here on Anchor. Here's another plug for Anchor. But join our Discord there. We have sponsor programs that are pretty much from cheap to a little bit more expensive than cheap. And you can get yourself some time on air with us. It's also a good spot to come in and shoot shit with us. We jump in there from time to time to talk to people and just get to know everybody, and that's what we do.
Yeah, so like Bill said, the link will be in the episode description, both on wherever you're listening to this, whether it's Anchor, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever, or even the YouTube version. It'll be linked down below, so make sure to check that out. With that being said, I got no final... Bill really just took all the final thoughts for me. I was going to say something, but at this point I've completely forgot because of the fact that his was so good. So I don't think I have anything else. But with that being said, thank you all for tuning in to this bonus episode 15 and a half of the Two Dudes with a View podcast. And we look forward to seeing you Monday. Hopefully, I don't think it will be, but hopefully it's not as somber of a episode as this past week. But some things just need to be covered, you know? And
Preseason's coming up.
Yeah, NFL preseason. We're, 3 weeks away now? 2 weeks? Somewhere in that range. So stay tuned. I'm excited. I'm actually going out to the Bills Stadium on Tuesday, so you'll probably hear about that next Thursday. So
also, final thought, because I can't pronounce the name of the people that did it, and I'm so disappointed. I'm not even a fan of them, but rest in peace, Heinz Field.
Yes, yeah. We'll probably talk about that on Monday too. But yeah, rest in peace. May Heinz Field live on forever in our thoughts and memories. But anywho, thank you all for tuning in to episode 15 and a half of the Two Dudes with a View podcast. We'll catch you Monday, same great place, same great time, 7 a.m. EST. And we'll talk at you then. Have a good one, guys, and enjoy the weekend.
Later.